I was walking through the park when I overheard a dad teaching his son to ride a bike. The kid fell, started crying, and said, "I'm just bad at this." The dad smiled, knelt beside him, and said softly, "Don't worry, I'm bad at this too. But I still show up, right?" That line hit me like a punch. Because once upon a time, I had someone in my life, a man who never showed up. A man who laughed when I failed. And that man was my boss. If you've ever had someone tell you you're not good enough, if anyone's ever made you feel small for trying, hit that like button, subscribe, and stay till the end. Because this is one of those stories where karma doesn't just knock, it walks right into the room wearing a perfect suit and smile. My name's Ali. A few years ago, I was just another guy trying to make it in the corporate world, broke, hopeful, and a little too eager to prove myself. When I got my first real job at a digital agency, I thought I'd finally made it. The office was sleek, the coffee machine was always running, and my boss, Mr. Kareem, looked like success personified. Tailored suits, Rolex watch, smile sharp enough to cut glass. On my very first day, he shook my hand and said, "Welcome to the jungle. Here, feelings don't matter, results do. Fail once, and I'll replace you." I laughed nervously, thinking he was joking. He wasn't. I worked harder than anyone else in that office. Early mornings, late nights, skipped lunches. I was determined to impress him. But no matter what I did, it was never enough. Every presentation, every proposal, every tiny mistake, he'd make it public. One day, during a team meeting, he slammed my report on the table and shouted, "Ali, how can one person be this incompetent? You're the definition of useless." Everyone laughed. And I just stood there, heat crawling up my neck, my hands shaking under the table. That day, something in me broke. But something else woke up too. After that meeting, I almost quit. I remember sitting alone in the cafeteria, staring at my cold coffee, replaying his words in my head. "You're not built for this world." And then, I remembered that dad in the park. "Don't worry, I'm bad at this too. But I still show up." So I decided I'd show up. Every damn day. I started learning. I'd stay in the office after hours, watching YouTube tutorials about marketing analytics, design principles, sales funnels, anything I could get my hands on. When he rejected my ideas, I'd rework them. When he insulted me, I'd study harder. And slowly, quietly, I started getting better. He didn't notice, but the clients did. A few even started emailing me directly, bypassing him. That's when his tone shifted from mockery to jealousy. Then came the layoffs. The company wasn't doing well, and Kareem needed someone to blame. He called me into his office one morning, didn't even look up from his computer, and said, "Ali, we're letting you go. You give effort, sure, but no impact. You're not made for this world." My heart sank, but I smiled. I said quietly, "You're right, sir. Maybe I'm not built for this world. But one day, I'll build my own." He laughed. "Good luck with that, kid." I walked out of that office with nothing but a backpack and a spark that was finally burning bright. For the next few years, life was brutal. I freelanced, worked from coffee shops, sometimes slept on a friend's couch. I failed over and over, but I kept showing up. And then, one day, I met Daniel, an investor from Singapore who needed digital branding for his startup expansion into Pakistan. He saw my work, liked my grit, and said something I'll never forget. "You've got something rare, Ali. You're not afraid to show up." He gave me a small office space, barely 3 desks and a whiteboard. But to me, it was everything. That was the birth of NovaEdge Digital. In the first month, I signed 2 clients, then 5, then 20. Within 2 years, NovaEdge became one of the fastest-growing agencies in the region. We weren't just surviving, we were leading. I hired young designers, writers, marketers, people who'd been told they weren't good enough, because I knew what that felt like. And then, one afternoon, my assistant walked in and said, "Sir, there's an invitation for you. Marketing Leaders Conference, Karachi. They want you as the keynote speaker." I smiled, but my heart stopped when I saw the sponsors. One of them was my old company. The same company where Kareem was still the managing director. Fast forward 2 months, the conference hall was packed. Bright lights, cameras, hundreds of executives. I walked onto that stage wearing the same shade of suit he used to wear, only this time it was mine. And right there, in the front row, sat Kareem. His hair was grayer, his posture a little less confident, but those same judging eyes stared right at me. When the host announced, "Please welcome the founder and CEO of NoviEdge Digital, Mr. Ali Khan," the entire hall erupted in applause. Kareem didn't clap. He just stared. I started my speech calmly. 5 years ago, someone told me I wasn't made for this world. And they were right. Because sometimes, the world doesn't fit you, you have to build your own. I saw him blink. Hard. The truth is, failure doesn't mean you're bad at something. It just means you're still learning how to stay on the bike. And the people who keep showing up, they're the ones who change the game. The crowd went wild. I ended with, "So to anyone who's ever been called useless, just remember, the world runs on people who refuse to give up." Standing ovation. Even Kareem stood up, slowly, reluctantly, clapping with a stiff smile. After the event, as people gathered around, Kareem walked up to me. He looked smaller now, not in height, but in spirit. He said softly, "Ali, I guess I was wrong about you." I smiled. "No, sir. You were right. I wasn't made for your world. That's why I built mine." He laughed awkwardly, patted my shoulder, and walked away. And that was my revenge. No yelling, no revenge plots, just quiet success echoing louder than his insults ever could. Sometimes, revenge doesn't mean hurting someone back. It means becoming so good, so undeniable, that they have to watch you rise from the place they buried you. That day, I walked out of the hall into the night air, breathing freely for the first time in years. The world felt wide open, and I finally understood what that dad in the park meant. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep showing up. If this story gave you chills, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs a reminder that it's never too late to rise. Comment below, "I still show up." And don't forget to subscribe for more stories where karma writes the ending better than anyone else ever could.